There is no male loneliness epidemic, and there is no male mental health epidemic. And that's because a man with purpose attracts. What I do believe is that there is an underlying illness in society towards the masculine, and that is a lack of identity and purpose. Because at its core, what is the masculine, right? What is our identity in society? It is that of protector and provider. But the role of protector and provider has changed so dramatically in the modern world versus what we are genetically evolved to do. It's no longer something that values the hunter or the builder, or the person who can excuse me, chop wood or defend the house. It's the person who brings home the biggest salary, and not everyone can be a millionaire or a CEO or a entrepreneur. And so what that tends to mean is who can be the best little wage slave possible, who can sacrifice the most hours of their life to gain the most money to look after their family. And isn't that sad? It creates this gap between men, because now your father's out of the house. Maybe it's a 9 to 5 he works, maybe, and okay, I'm taking it back a little bit because now obviously men and women work, so there's even a bigger gap in society. But either your father worked a 9 to 5, or maybe it was a 6 to 6. Maybe they worked on an oil rig or an engineer or something, and they were gone for months of the year. And it leaves this vacuum in role models, and we don't have heroes anymore to look up to. We have influencers and politicians and celebrities, which is why these soulless, ego-based life forms like Andrew Tate and Dan Bilzerian and Peter Thiel make their way to the top. And they're obsessed with one thing, which is the most ego-driven, self-satisfying version of masculinity possible, which is, how can I get more money, or how much money can I make, how many women can I sleep with? Maybe not Peter Thiel in that regard, but I'm sure he does fine. And how can I use that money to sleep with more women and get more money? Which is so meaningless. What is the point of that? And I think that men who can't fulfill this goal of becoming this big money earner, they fall into porn and video games and disassociation, because without being able to meet that purpose, what really is left for you in this world? And I think that as soon as we start bridging that gap and we start looking for our purpose again as men, beyond the soulless, beyond your bank statement, whatever that might be, then I think we're going to see a dramatic drop in loneliness, in male separation, in depression, in the unaliving rates, because purpose attracts.